What a fucking shit show 2020 has been, guys. I mean, honestly, from wide-scale and rampant abuse within many AAA companies, to crunch periods getting longer and longer and harsher and harsher. Before last week, it was hard to imagine what else could be laid bare at the feet of an industry that really does appear to be the wild fucking West. But then Cyberpunk happened, and if I'm honest, it's highlighted behaviours on both sides of the fence that really is just unacceptable, from consumer to company. And really that's something I think we need to address and talk about today. 2020 should have been a smash hit for the video game industry. A world at home with very little to do except seek entertainment. But that'd be too simple, too easy, and definitely not 2020. From Ubisoft and the horrific stories of workplace rape and sexual harassment to employees coming out in their droves to complain about crunch and unhealthy workplace practices. Their industry really is going to hell in a handbasket this year. Back in January, CD Projekt Red decided to delay Cyberpunk for the first time, so as to ensure the game was polished and complete. What a fucking joke that seems now. While at the time it was met with some disappointment, in general, CD Projekt Red was celebrated and lauded, praised for taking the time to release a finished product, something far too many of us are unaccustomed to these days. In hindsight, many of us failed to see the warning signs. Nobody seemed to question the lack of reviews, and even fewer the fact that none were on console. And before many even had their game on the hard drive, the fanboys descended to defend this perfect game from any and all criticism with a fervent passion unseen. Now, as a general, I don't want to give these guys too much time. I'm sure we've all encountered them. But I feel special mention should be paid to the group of people who decided that when a journalist mentioned, oh, by the way, I played this game, and it caused me to have a seizure due to one of the sequences, it would have been nice for there to be a warning to warn me about that. Which is perfectly fucking valid. Seems like a bit of a health and safety violation that could have happened in the first place and there was no warning. But yeah, perfectly valid. What isn't fucking perfectly valid is the legions of fans who then decided to send her GIFs and videos of flashing images in an attempt to cause her to have another seizure. You literally couldn't fucking make this shit up. The game itself is either a white hot mess or the crisis of this generation. The game, not an actual crisis. I mean, we're already fucking living through that. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One base versions are unplayable. From low frame rates to glitches, to the game just randomly kicking you back to the dashboard. This game literally, it runs the gauntlet of what could go wrong. And if I'm honest, the PC didn't fare much better either. A quick aside here, looking at the minimum specs to play this game on the PC and run it on high, it's my computer, it's what I've got. You've got no idea how long I've been excited about that. I honestly thought we were getting to a point where I was starting to get pushed out of a generation. Now I'm lucky when I've played this game to get 20 to 25 FPS. It's borderline unplayable, it makes me feel ill. To get any kind of playable experience out of it, I've had to drop to a mixture of low and high. Now again, I've got the fucking recommended specs the game is meant to run at. I want to know who at CD Projekt Red tested this and thought, yep, this is a playable experience, this is what I would recommend, because it's the fucking recommended. Now I could talk for hours about the poor state of this game, but there's other people who've done a far better job of it. One of the things I do actually want to talk about is how we've become so fucking numb to this industry bullshit, how we've let consumer complacency just seep into our souls and just rot everything. There seems to be an argument that's a favourite amongst many when defending Cyberpunk, that they, the consumer, were pressured into releasing the game because us, the fans, were so angry about the delays, which, as we've talked about, has never really been the case. And yeah, I mean, we all know that's now bullshit. Now, the very statement that we, the consumer, can pressure these developers, these companies into releasing a game early, it implies there's equal power in this relationship, and there's not. Who remembers Modern Warfare 2 and how there was a call to boycott that? Let me just throw up an image now of all the people on launch day who definitely boycotted that game. The industry knows they hold the power. They know that no matter what, we're going to buy the game. And we will, because Cyberpunk has turned a profit on day one, or at least made its money back. I don't know if there's a difference. There's no equal power here. The developers could have taken the time to make sure this game was ready, and they didn't. And for whatever reason, I guess we'll find out in the coming few days what that is, why this all happened. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of buying a game and no longer being filled with joy and excitement. Now, when I buy a game, I just sit there and think, can I play it today? Is this going to be a better game in 6 months? Is it even worth me buying it now? And that behaviour, like, it isn't acceptable in any other walk of life. So why is it acceptable here? Why is it that we accept this bullshit? You know, we allow ourselves to get bent over a barrel and then have to apologise because they got a splinter. This might sound like a dramatic call here, but in my opinion, this industry won't last if we carry on how it does. I mean, of course it will. We're going to have a video game industry. It makes money. But if we want quality good games that keep us engaged, that make us laugh, that make us cry, that give us all the moments that we come to expect from streamers, or anything like that, we need to start caring. We need to start protecting the people that make those games. Because it's a wonder that this bubble hasn't burst yet. Why is it video games seem to bring the worst out in people? I mean, personally, I feel like it has to have something to do with passion, with the fact we love them, the fact they're important to us. But we need to start acting like that for the good and the bad. This last week, I have seen some crazy criticisms defending CD Projekt Red. And rather hilariously, they've all been countered by CD Projekt Red themselves, proving that really people will say anything to discount someone else's argument. A big lesson we as consumers need to learn, right, is that our opinions are valid. Our opinions are allowed to be heard and to be held with some importance. And some people have gone out of their way to make it seem like there is no justifiable reason to criticise this game. Grow the fuck up. Criticism is not a personal attack like some people have been taking it. Criticism is how we learn, how we grow, and how we get better. Simple.